2.78 minus 1.32. As with adding, it helps to put them in columnar form, one number above the other. So we have 2.78 take away 1.32 with the decimal points in a straight vertical line, and do the same in the answer box. Starting with the hundredths, 8 take away 2 is 6, then for the tenths, 7 take 3 is 4, and for the units, 2 take 1 is 1, giving us 1.46 as our answer. We now have 2.24 take away 1.55. So 2.24 take away 1.55. We lay it out in exactly the same way as we did before, with the decimal points in a vertical line. When we do 4 take away 5, we find that this can't be done. There are various ways of dealing with this situation. I'm going to demonstrate one where we borrow a tenth from the next column. The 2/10 here I rewrite as 1/10, and the other tenth comes over, giving us 14/100ths in the next column. We can then do 14 take away 5, which gives us 9. When we come to the next column, we can't do 1 take away 5. But we do the same trick with these two units. Leave one of the units in the units column, and the other one comes over, giving us a total of 11/10ths in the tenths column. And we can now do 11 take away 5, which is 6. Here we have 1 take away 1, which is 0. So our final answer is 0.69. We now have 2.04 take away 1.55. 2.04 take away 1.55 laid out in our usual form, where they're in vertical columns. Remember, the point needs to go in the same vertical line as the other points. Once again, we can't do 4 take away 5. We'd like to borrow from the tenths column, but there's a 0 in the tenths column, so there's nothing there to borrow. However, if we come across and look at the units column, we could borrow 1 from the units column, leaving 1 there, and the other one would come into the tenths column, giving us 10/10ths. We can now borrow one of these 10, leaving us with 9/10ths, the one coming across into the hundredths column, giving us a total of 14/100ths. 14 take away 5 is 9. 9 take away 5 is 4, and 1 take away 1 is 0. So our answer to this problem is 0.49. We now have 2.9 take away 1.523. Write it in the usual form. and make sure that the decimal points are in the same straight line. We can put zeros here to keep the columns nicely in line. 2.9 and 2.900 are clearly the same number. Now when we come to subtract, we can't do 0 take away 3, nor is there anything to borrow from here. So we'll borrow from here. We'll leave 8 of the tenths in this column. The other 1 will come across and give us 10 1/100ths in the next column. We can then borrow one of these 10, leaving us with 9 here, and giving us 10 1,000ths. So 10 take away 3 is 7. 9 take away 2 is 7. 8 take away 5 is 3. And 2 take away 1 is 1. So our final answer is 1.377. We now have 12.357. Take away 9.472. We lay this out in a familiar way, with the numbers all in vertical columns. Make sure that in the answer box, the decimal point is in the same vertical line. So we have 7 take away 2 is 5. 5 take away 7 can't be done. We can borrow from these 3, leaving 2 here, taking 1 over into the next column, therefore giving us 15. 15 take away 7 is 8. We can't do 2 take away 4, so we borrow from here, leaving 1 here, and making this one into a 12. 12 take away 4 is 8. We can't do 1 take away 9. So we borrow 1 from here, leaving 0 in the tens column, and giving us 11 in the units column. 11 take away 9 is 2. So our final answer is 2.885.